Live coming to you with a very rare dual sport podcast. We got MLB and NBA coming up. We're going to keep this one quick because games are upon us, fast approaching here. But as always, today's podcast is presented by Props.Cash. We 100% could not do what we do without Props.Cash. So if you think you're ready to level up your prop betting game, use code PTM at signup to get 25% off your first month. We got Jonesy Trends, aka Josh, in the house. What's going on?
What's up? What's up? Glad to be back. Definitely excited. We got two of the best times of the year, playoff basketball, and we have MLB. So, definitely excited. Definitely excited.
That's
Big
good,
time.
man. And just for those who weren't on the pre-show, so we always chat for a few minutes before the show starts. Josh rolls up with a Yankees hat on, and if you know Tom and I, we're both Mets fans, so we immediately booed him. And he went and found a Mets hat, which kind of still looks like a Yankees hat a little bit, but
it's a Mets hat, Subway Series.
It's a Subway Series Mets hat.
Subway Series.
So we appreciate you accommodating us.
Yes, thank you very much.
And we're open to all teams, though, so don't worry. You can wear your Yankee hat if you want.
I'll wear it next time.
Next time. So, all right, cool. Let's like Tom said, let's dive into it. We games are upon us. I think some of these are starting around like 7:00 tonight Eastern time. So we're gonna start on the MLB side with our expert Josh. Let's roll into the Royals Orioles. We have. Tell me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Kramer or Kramer?
It's Dean Kramer.
Kramer. Okay. Kramer and Marsh going up against each other. But you're not looking at the pitchers as much. You're looking at some hitter props. What do you like in this one?
So what I'm gonna be targeting. So first of all, I think this game has the potential to be the game of the night as far as excitement, runs. You have two teams that are just scorching hot right now. Orioles are turning it up. Royals have been, hot all season. And then you have two pitchers that have already faced each other this season, and they're kind of getting back to where they belong, which is not very good pitchers. And when you have that, and you have hot bats, that creates a lot of runs and creates, obviously some value. So first look that I'm looking at is Nelson Velasquez for the Kansas City Royals. I'm looking at his hits, runs, and RBIs. So this season, he's over this number in 9 out of 17 games. But if you filter this to at home, you can see that he's over this number in 7 out of 9, also in 5 straight games. So definitely like the Nelson Velasquez. I can talk about, pretty much another reason why I like this. So this season, I'm pulling up data from another website, Baseball Savant, but just to kind of back on why I like Nelson Velasquez as well. So to righties, he's throwing a cutter, four seam, sinker. So he throws the cutter and four seam as his top two pitches, the cutter 34.6, so pretty much 35% of the time, and then the four seam at 24.1%. If we go and look at how Nelson Velasquez is doing against those pitches, so I'll go ahead and against the cutter, he's batting 500 with a 500 slug, and then the four seam he's batting 333 with a 533 slug. So he's hitting the ball really, really well. Back at home, in a matchup like this with Dean Kramer, who has struggled to righties. So righties are only batting 235 against his cutter, but the expected numbers show you where he's gotten lucky pretty much.
Right.
Because his expected numbers are 348 expected batting average compared to that 235. And then for the four seam, it's getting crushed. Righties are batting 571 against it with an expected 524. So the four seam is what it is. It's just getting hit. And then the cutter is he's been getting lucky to righties. So I think Nelson Velasquez, he gets a hold of one. I think he could potentially hit a home run. He's been one of their hotter bats. Obviously, I couldn't talk you off of like a Bobby Witt or anything as well. But as far as value, I think at plus money, Nelson Velasquez over his 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs is a play for me, especially with how he's been playing at home against the pitch mix and then against the pitcher he's already seen this year already.
Love that.
Yep.
I've been I've been tailing a lot of your picks from the Discord, and I really love these 1.5 HRR.
Mm-hmm.
And And I feel like half the time that you play these, the guy ends up hitting a home run and just takes care of it in one swing. So hopefully we see that again tonight.
Yeah, so and that's the thing too, and the hits, runs, RBIs, you have so many different ways on how you can attack it. Like he could hit 2 sack flies and doesn't even get an actual hit,
True.
and with and 2 RBIs, you're good. Or he gets walked and someone hits a home run behind him and he gets a run in. Okay, well then you got a run right there. So there's just different ways you can attack it. That's why I like taking the hits, runs, RBIs. It's giving you pretty much 3 different ways to cash a bet. Really 4 if you hit a home run. So the next guy that I was looking at in this game is Jordan Westberg over 1+ RBI. I think that holds a lot of value. I want to say it's around plus 170 right now. I haven't played many RBI looks, but I do think this one holds some value here with Alec Marsh on the mound. So if we look here at Westberg, and we pull it up on my screen as well.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Okay, yeah. So he's over this number in 6 out of 12 games. It's not the best on the road at all. I mean, he's only over in 1 out of 5 games on the road. But again, this is a matchup thing for me here, facing Alec Marsh. So
Right.
Marsh, he throws pretty much a sinker slider to righties, and righties have been hitting them pretty well, more so than lefties. We know that Orioles has a lineup full of lefties that have really been hot, but for a righty, he's been one of those righties that have been, I mean, absolutely crushing it for him this season. So Marsh throws the slider 45% of the time and then follows it up with a sinker around 35% of the time. Righties are hitting 667 with a 513 expected against this slider, and then a 444 against this sinker with a 460 expected. We look at how Westberg is doing against those against the slider sinker here. So if we go to, I'm pulling it up on my screen. Kind of hard. I can't show you my screen, but the slider, he's batting 500 with a 346 expected, and then the sinker, he's only batting 214 but has a 375 expected. I love this with it when it's just 2 pitches, and then like I said, the Orioles have been hot. Alec Marsh has gotten really lucky this year. I think when you're facing the Orioles team that's on fire right now, you get some of those guys in front of him, Alec, and then how big the Kansas City field is, it's easy to hit one into the gap, and he could easily get 2 RBIs. Like you see, most of his RBIs have been 2+ on the season, more so than 1. So it might even be some value to even play like the 2+ RBIs for maybe a half a unit or something like that, a quarter unit. But I definitely think he secures 1 RBI today against this pitch mix. I think this game is going to be fireworks. Definitely. So he's seen him twice and hit a double on him already in the last game as well. So
yeah, I love that. I love taking a pitcher who's performing better than the numbers or the leading indicators would say he should be, and getting the value there. So this is at plus 165 for even just 1 RBI. Like you said, a little sprinkle on 2 seems like good value as well. So
I mean, just with the hit rate of him hitting, like if he's getting 1, it looks like he's pretty much getting 2 or more at that point. So I just think this game is fireworks. I think this game soars over. It's going to be a lot of runs, a lot of home runs, a lot of doubles. I think it's going to be a really exciting game.
All right, so maybe a lean on the over in this one as well.
Yeah,
it could be another play.
For sure.
All right, cool. Let's move to the Rangers Braves. 2 pretty good teams going up against each other, and this one is a we got Heaney and Sale. This one is a player that you often go to. Tell us who you're going with today in that game.
We are going with Matt Olson. We are going to take his total bases over 1.5. It's with Heaney on the mound. This is a must play for me. I know it's a lefty on lefty matchup, but Heaney has been pretty awful against lefties so far this season. So I'll go ahead, and you can see that he's over this number in 5 out of 6 home games, first of all. And then on the season, he's over in 9 out of 18. He's only over in 1 out of his last 5 games, but those games have been on the road, so I'm huge into home road splits for players. Even like Ohtani, you can see how much better he's been on the road this season than at home. It's kind of been Mookie's show at home, and then on the road, it's straight Ohtani show, extra base hits galore. So Matt Olson at home, Friday night against Andrew Heaney, who has just struggled really bad against lefties so far this season and really hasn't even been able to make it to 5 innings, just with command issues and getting himself deep into counts and not being able to, being at like 90 pitches by the 4th inning. So I think this is a Brave spot. I think you could really take anybody in the Braves lineup, but with Matt Olson kind of being due, with him only covering in 1 out of the last 5 games and the hit rate at home, and then the splits with the lefty on lefty matchup, I love this spot for him. So lefties, he's throwing a 4-seam slider. That's all he's throwing to lefties. Lefties, I've hit 400 against them and 667 against the 4-seam and slider. The expected numbers are 345 and 416. So again, they just are what they are. He's struggled to lefties. Matt Olson is crushing both of those pitches. He's only seen 2 sliders so far to lefties this season, but last year he was batting 286 with an expected 301. He's had 15 plate appearances against Heaney, so it's not like he's unfamiliar with him. I think Heaney's going to end up leaving a slider hanging, and Matt Olson is probably going to smoke it, and it's probably going to go very, 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 very far. So Matt Olson over 1.5 total bases is probably my favorite look in this game. But honestly, I couldn't talk you off of any Braves player right now, especially being back at home against this Texas team that just came from Detroit. Now you got to go play one of the best teams in baseball on a day's rest. This is a Brave spot for me to the moon.
That's good. Tom, mark that moment in the show because that's going to make a really good clip when that actually happens after.
Yeah. Love that distance measurement there.
Yeah.
I can just see it now, man. It's going to go to right field very, 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 very.
He's calling it. He's calling it live. All right.
Right. He's not just giving you a prop. He's telling you like the
where
inning,
it's going to go.
Yeah, where it's going to go, which fan is going to catch
no
it.
Doubter.
No doubter. So
as soon
I
as
love
he hits
that.
it's gone. So
and I have to say, when you gave out the Matt Olson pick, your like energy went up like just a little bit more. So I kind of feel like this might be
the one.
This might be the one. So
I write my notes down pretty much every night. I stay up probably later than I should to research to try to just be ready for the next day. And usually when I find somebody that I really like, there's like multiple fire emojis like right after their name. I'm like, all right, this is insane, and I'll get really excited. Be like, okay,
DYL picks, loving this pick, Josh. He says this clip's about to be elite. This is cashing in the first inning.
Shout out to Dill Picks. That's my guy. Shout out to Dill.
Guy.
Yeah, that's my guy. I appreciate you supporting Dill for sure.
Of course. Yeah, and Josh and the team is like out on 12 different podcasts and 12 different playbacks and all these sorts of streams. You guys got to check them out. They do a phenomenal job. You and the guys like work so hard. So I just want to take that moment to just say well done to you guys.
I appreciate that very, very much, man. It's good seeing that it doesn't go unnoticed. So
no, definitely not. All right, let's back that up with another 2 good picks. We got the A's and the Guardians. This one's another 7:00 game. Boyle and McKenzie going up against each other. I know you got 2 more hit plays on this one. What do you like on this one?
All right, so I'm gonna go for the first play. We're gonna go Jose Ramirez over his 1.5 total bases. I really would like to put him in a hit parlay, which I might still be doing, but just as far as a straight play, I think you can't go wrong with his over 1.5 total bases. And I'm strictly doing this off of, I watched this guy yesterday play in Boston. He smoked the ball. The wind was blowing in like 20 miles per hour, and it like hit the wall and just right to the warning tracks. Should have been a home run. Jose Ramirez, once he gets going, he gets going. And what better team to do that against a team that he loves playing in the Oakland A's? As you can see, is head-to-head. He's over this number in 12 out of 17 games versus them. And if you go to at home, he is over this number in 6 out of 7 at home. 4+, 8+, 2+, 2+, 3+, 5+. Only got 1 in his last home game against them. But Jose Ramirez versus Joe Boyle. Joe Boyle has struggled to lefties this season. So he throws a 4-seam slider. That's his main 2 pitches. Fastball is 63% of the time. So you know what you're getting out of this guy. 310 batting average against the four-seamer, and then a 313 against the slider. Expected numbers all support it as well. I just think J-Ram is in a great spot here to potentially hit a bomb. I definitely see him getting a double. I could get 2+ hits, but against a team that he loves playing, I gotta go. I gotta go with J-Ram at the plus money value over the 1.5 total bases. And then for
That's great.
another play, Josh Naylor, RBI. This might be a play where you might take like a Westberg and Naylor, just pair them. They're both sitting at plus money, but just to get some little extra value, I like Josh Naylor over his one or just his over half RBI. So pretty much, I like that Naylor's in a cleanup spot, which is the 4 hole. You get Joe Boyle has to see pretty much 4 lefties in a row who he struggles against. So you got Quan, J-Ram. I want to say Jimenez might be a righty, but let's just say he gets Quan and J-Ram on the base. I don't see how he doesn't knock one in. He's been super hot this year. He's over this. No, he's over. He has a hit in I want to say 15 out of 18 games this season. Let me just confirm that really fast.
Yep, 15 out of 18.
Yep, so 15.
83%.
Yep, 15 out of 18. 10 out of 15 versus them head to head. Not the best at home, but this season at home, his numbers have been way better. He's over in 5 out of 6 home games this season with 2+ hits in 4 out of those 6 games. So for me, him being able to get an RBI, he's over in 4 out of 6 this season with 2+ in 3 out of those 6 games. I think this is a Cleveland spot against this Oakland team. Cleveland has been sneakily really good this year. Doesn't really get talked about much, but they're winning games and they've been playing really, really good at home. Progressive Field is a beautiful field for hitters. The wind usually is in their favor a lot of the times. It's a nice hitter's park. So Josh Naylor to record an RBI, another one where you see when he gets one, he's usually getting 2+. So might have some fun with Westberg and Naylor on like maybe a 2+ RBI, a 2-leg lotto, which I'm sure would come out at some beautiful plus money. But
yeah,
Naylor's just been hitting the ball really well. I'm expecting people to be on base when he does hit the ball because he will hit the ball with somebody on base, and I'm expecting a run to be batted in. So Josh Naylor, RBI, Jose Ramirez, total bases.
Love that. I mean, if almost all those plays were plus money, I would say as an alternative, I think you would agree. You could technically take any of these guys to get a hit and put them together.
Just put them in a hit
right?
parlay. Yeah. And I mean, that's probably what I'll honestly end up doing. I'll probably play Josh Naylor and Jose Ramirez each to get a hit in the same game. I'll probably do Nelson Velasquez and Bobby Witt. I'll probably do definitely playing Matt Olson's total bases, but I'll probably pair him with somebody. It's just the hit parlays have been really going well for me this year. It's a lot easier than having to worry about someone hitting a double, home run, triple, and you can just get one hit, get it out of the way. And that's that. But I'll probably have some fun with the RBIs too with Naylor and Westberg for sure.
Said on YouTube says Guardians party all weekend. So
yes, that is correct. I like how Seth is thinking there. Definitely a Guardians party all weekend. Oakland can be feisty, but let's just be honest. It's the Oakland Athletics, and they're not a good team.
When are they moving to Vegas?
I want to say next year. If I'm not mistaken, it's either next year or the year after that, and then they're going to be. I'd have to look into it, but I was reading something not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, on exactly how they're planning on doing it. But I know they're out of Oakland for sure.
Yeah, it seems like they should move like tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, nice plays. I love all those. I'm definitely gonna get a few of those in myself and probably parlay a few of those together. But awesome stuff. You guys ready to move from the field over to the hardwood?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So that's the beautiful part of this time of the year is we got multiple big sports going on. So while you're cashing those baseball tickets, we can also have some NBA play-in games going on. So just as a reminder, this is kind of the last of the play-in games. These two teams are going, one in the East, one in the West, both going up for the final seed for the playoffs. So all going for the 8th seed. I'll start with you, Tom. Let's go Bulls and Heat. The Heat are -1.5 in this game, even though they're without Jimmy Butler, and I believe Terry Rozier is out as well.
Yeah.
Total in this game is 206, so low scoring one.
Yes.
Coming. What do you like in this one? I know you got some sneaky plays.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I like to avoid looking on Twitter too much, and maybe that's why Dave and I make a good combo because I'm a very impressionable young man, and if I see too much stuff on Twitter, it slants my view on things. So I try to stay away from that because I'm also a natural kind of contrarian. If I see everyone on a certain player, for example, like Dave let me know, Jaime Jaquez, very popular pick tonight. So I kind of want to look elsewhere, although I think, that's my boy, my UCLA boy here. I think he's in for a good game tonight at a 13.5 point line. But let's look at the superstar, the guy who probably should have been the MVP of that Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics last season, Caleb Martin.
Wow. That's crazy. You said, like, I'm literally looking at Caleb Martin, right?
That's it, man.
That's insane. That is crazy.
So the 10.5 points, I love it. You look at, he's going to get, you got Jimmy out, you got Terry out. This guy he just elevated his game to another level last postseason. I think he could be, you got to remember, Jaquez is a rookie, right? Like he was a senior. He played a lot at UCLA, so he's definitely more seasoned and experienced than most rookies, especially these days. But let's go with the experience here. I like his points, 10.5 points, -125. It was earlier, 17 points in both games against Chicago this season, and that was with Jimmy Butler in the lineup. Now he's out. I also think you could look at his threes are also nice, over 1.5 made threes. That was -120 earlier. If you look at his last postseason, he got there, I don't know. I didn't write down the hit rate, but he's got the best matchup you could ask for. Chicago allows by far the most 3-point attempts, regardless of position, but basically this entire season, and even more so over the second half here. So loving Caleb Martin.
Yeah, 56% hit rate last postseason, but for 2 threes. But in the back half, it looked like he was doing it, especially in that Celtics series. He was doing it pretty much every game. All right, Josh, you like that pick as well?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I thought about when I seen, Jimmy Butler and Terry out was Caleb Martin, and definitely his threes. Just off of pure memory, because I've been so locked into MLB. I know Bulls and spot up shooters is like bread and butter. You know what I mean? So Caleb Martin over 1.5 threes, I think that's a lovely line. Obviously, I mean, you feel like you could look at like your usual suspects and like Tyler Hero, who's going to take probably 15 freaking threes tonight. But at 3.5 -140, I just don't know if I can get to the window on that. I'd rather just play the 1.5, probably get in and out in the first half with Caleb Martin. So I love Caleb Martin.
The thing that made me lean on the points more than the threes was, like I said, he had 17 points in both games against Chicago this season, but in one game he had 3 threes, the other game he had 0 threes. So I just based on those 2 data points, that just put me on a lean. Although I was with you, Josh, my first instinct was the threes as well.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like even like the hit rates. If you go down like 3-pointers made for Chicago, you got DeJounte hit 3, Bogdan hit 3, Trae Young 3, Garrison Matthews 2, Boyan 3, OG 2, Dante DiVincenzo 5, like 3. Like he should be able to hit 2 threes against this. You would hope, but I like the 10.5 too, because I think he probably gets 15 plus points tonight for sure.
Yeah,
he's gonna need to. He'll need to with Terry and Jimmy out. Honestly.
Agreed. I missed the little comment here from your boy Dill. He said, "Tell Jones that Dill said the real Triple J plays today."
It's freaking. He loves Jaquez. That's his best.
All right. Very nice. That's my boy.
He loves Jaquez.
Yeah. Nice.
That's good. And I have to say, Caleb Martin is my favorite play that we've ever posted at PTM. And Tom knows what I'm talking about. We posted it
against the Bucks, right?
I think it was in the Celtics series last season, right? We posted it. had like 100,000 impressions on Twitter or something like that.
Wow.
Everybody was tailing it. Everybody's on it. At halftime, I think what did he have at halftime? 0 points, Tom?
I think it might have been 0 or it wasn't much. I
Oh,
think this was in the Bucks series.
Oh, it was
though.
the Bucks series.
Yeah.
And then
Getting trashed.
even we're just getting trashed by everybody on X, and then like he just starts lighting up. He scored probably like 10 points in a matter of like 3 minutes. He cashed the over, and then you just start seeing everybody deleting their
Reading their
comments.
tweets. They're probably
Yep.
like, "Oh
It was
boy,
great.
I probably should have not said that."
Yeah.
But that's where we found out who our true supporters were, because we had a lot of guys backing us up. That was a lot of fun. Tom and I were enjoying that moment. All right, next pick. Who else? Give me another role player here, Tom. That
You want another role player? All right, let's stick with the Heat real quick. I couldn't pass on Kevin Love. You just figure with the guys out, he's going to get some more minutes today. His PR line is 10.5. Look at his splits against Chicago. 8 of his last 9 games against Chicago, averaging 21.2 PR. That's between last season and this season. And then if you just put your splits onto this season and look at him without Jimmy and Terry, 12 of 15 this season without those guys. This seems like a no-brainer to me. Am I missing something? Or is he like not going to play a lot of minutes? What's going on here?
This is crazy. Like, you could ladder this man's rebounds too.
Yes, sir.
4.5 rebounds. 4.5 rebounds for Kevin Love. We're talking about a guy who's was double king. You know what I mean? And now you got, without Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier, if you put those filters in, he's over this number in 11 out of 15, 4 out of 6 at home. I'm gonna look at the minutes. Like some of those games he played 9 minutes in one of those games, 16 in another.
Yeah.
I'll filter he's gonna play 20 minutes tonight.
I think that's
he played 17 against Philly the other night. But Jimmy played pretty much the whole game, right? So without Jimmy in the game, that's going to open up a lot of minutes. I think,
4.5 rebounds is crazy.
4.5 rebounds, he could get that in the first 6 minutes of the game.
We're probably gonna get to the window on that. I'm not gonna lie. I might
there we go.
2-unit play or something.
2-unit play. All right.
4.5 rebounds. That's crazy.
I like that. And he, you know what? He's not afraid to shoot either. Like he's going to get plenty of open threes against this, against the Chicago team. So I think the PR is a nice play too.
Yeah,
so.
We got Campio de Greens says Kevin Love 5.5 RA is his favorite line of the night. So
all right. I like RA because I like rooting for the full length
the outlook pass.
The outlook pass by Kevin Love, like soccer throw down the field.
He's the master of it.
He's the master of it. But no Jimmy to throw it to. All right, let's go. Who's the next player that you got in this one, Tom?
All right, the other one we put this one up on X already today. Sneaky play in this game. Javonte Green. I like his PR. Real quick, since it's up on X already. The guy's been playing big minutes. They fully guarantee he was a 10-day contract guy. They fully guaranteed him on April 4th, and look what he's done since then. Starting April 5th, the guy's just been a beast going over his line. He's going to play 23 minutes in the playing game against Atlanta. It's probably good for 23 to 25 minutes tonight. I think you could play his PR. You could play his points straight. You could play his rebound straight. I think they're all great plays.
This is crazy. Like, I'm
bringing the heat today, Josh.
Yeah, this is crazy. Like his rebound line this season. I've filtered it to actually, let me just
6, 13, 8, 12, 8, 7, 8,
this
6.
is crazy. I might do like a freaking 8-8 with him and Kevin Love.
There we go.
This is crazy.
Yeah, these players that we're talking about, if they all do what we think they're going to do, you have the ability to potentially retire today. Some of these guys, if they put up some of the numbers they've been putting up and you parlay a couple of those together, again, don't put big bets on it. Don't actually try to retire, but you can get a nice plus couple thousand hit on some of these guys.
Today's gonna be a movie.
It's gonna be a movie. Yeah. So we got those 3 guys. We also liked gave out a play on Haywood Highsmith in the Discord as well. So we'll skip over the analysis on that, but take a look at him. And he's definitely part of a parlay that we just put together as well. So
a lot of points from a Miami Heat team. That's what did we say? 206 was the total in this. So
206.5. But we're talking about like 10 points. We're not talking about anybody scoring 30. So All right, so I'm gonna put you both on the spot. Who are you taking in this game, Bulls or Heat? Josh, go first.
It sounds crazy. I gotta go without Jimmy. I gotta go Bulls, man.
Bulls look
Jimmy's
like the
just
better team.
yeah, and he's the heart and soul really of that team when it comes to playoff basketball. I know
Yeah.
Spoelstra, like if I'm taking a coach, I'm taking Spoels like all
Yep.
day.
Yeah.
But I gotta go with the Bulls.
And you got the revenge factor. I mean, it was on
Yeah.
this exact same day last year that it looked like the Bull. I remember I was in Phoenix. I was out to dinner, and it looked like the Bulls had it like wrapped up. Right, they were up by a decent amount. I remember towards very close to the end of the game, and then Miami came storming back. So this is the revenge here. This game's going to Chicago.
Yep.
But I will say there was a post up on X earlier today. The Heat have bought their plane tickets to have a flight scheduled to Boston for tomorrow. And
Never
the Bulls have their flight booked back to Chicago. So if that's an indicator, then the Heat are going to take it. But I'm with you guys. The Bulls are trending in the right direction. The Heat are kind of limping to the finish line with Kevin Love. So
do we think we see a DeMar masterclass tonight potentially? What are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, I feel like he would play a little bit more better if Jimmy was on the court, just because bring the competition out a little bit. But.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dave?
I don't know. I didn't even look at him in a matchup standpoint. I was kind of turned off by his last game performance because we were on his PA and he came out firing. Like whoever was announcing that game made the comment. He has the prettiest jump shot in the NBA, like mid-range jump shot, and it's true. The guy is like butter. Like he pulls up and he can drain anything from 15 feet out, automatic.
Yeah, I think it's him or KD.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a shorter KD. So I think he has the potential, but he always kind of caps out at like 25 points. You know, you know, he's not really that 40-point guy, but you know, in a game like this, he does have the ability to go off and maybe we'll see. 206 points in this game, so I don't see anybody scoring 50, but
at least you know the volume is going to be there.
The volume will be there for sure.
For damn sure.
All right, and then Kobe White as well. He was really the one who stole the show the other day. All right, let's go to the second game. We've got the Kings and the Pelicans. Pels are -1.5, despite Zion being out. Total again is 210 in this game, so not a particularly high scoring game. It makes sense because these are truly game sevens for both of these teams, right? So we know that game sevens historically are tight. So just keep that in mind. We didn't really have a lot of rebound plays, but those are typically a good play in game seven type environments as well. So let's dive into your two picks on this one. What do you like?
I like the guy who's going to be starting in place of Zion, Trey Murphy, the third over 17.5 points. It was -108 on DK. Sacramento, they struggle defending wings. New Orleans has a lot of wings to throw at them. Like they don't have, you got Barnes and Keegan Murray. Like those are your guys, and they get spread very thin very quickly. They've also had a terrible 3-point defense. They give up a ton of three-point attempts all season long. And then I also like this because, you know, we saw at the end of the game in the first playing game when Zion went out, you know, Brandon Ingram continued to sit on the bench there. You thought BI would be right in the game. So he's obviously still limited. So that'll only mean, you know, additional minutes for Murphy here, even with getting the start. And he just played them on April 11th. Was that 8 days ago? He went 6 for 12 from 3. What's his name? If you want to look at another wing with a lot of 3-point attempts, Delano Banton from the he just went 0 for 15 from 3 against Sacramento. So a lot of 3-point attempts. So I think Murphy, I like his 17.5 here.
Yeah, I mean he's had 3 threes in 6 straight games against the Kings. So, you know, even if you're afraid to push this to 4 threes, which is a lot, feel free to knock this down to 3 and put that as part of a parlay. Might even tie that up with a hit from the MLB section of this pod. What do you think, Josh? Anything on Murphy?
I don't think you can go wrong with taking, his threes. I'm completely with you there. kind of looking at, just at some splits without Zion, and then, the Pelicans on 2 days rest. I feel like as a whole, their team has been pretty bad on 2 days rest, like as far as like hit rates.
Yeah.
You look at Ingram, has not played well on 2 days rest. You look at CJ, has not played well on 2 days rest. Murphy, he's hit his threes more so on 2 days rest. But um, with them facing the Kings, the volume's going to be there. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with taking Trey Murphy. He's going to shoot the ball, his points as well. So nothing that I'm really seeing in this game that's just like jumping off of the screen for me, honestly. Here, I just two teams that I'm not really impressed with, honestly. I thought the Kings would be a lot better than what they were coming off of last season, but they've had their ups and downs this season as well.
Yeah, we talked about that on the last pod. The absence of Malik Monk from the lineup is really changed their whole team dynamic. They've gotten better defensively, but offensively they've kind of fallen off. Fallen off big time. So speaking of defensively, Tom, talk about your next pick for the defensive expert on the Kings.
All right, so we're gonna go back to Keon Ellis. We cashed on his points easily. I was very happy with that one in the first playing game. We're gonna go to some defensive stats here, though. Over 1.5 steals, -113 on FanDuel. Like, not a ton of analysis. The guy's in there for his defense. That's where his bread's buttered. Like, that's why he's playing. You see he's had 3 steals in each of the last 2 games. If your book offers stocks, I also like 2.5 steals and blocks. It's -105 on BetMGM.
Oh, wow.
Look at that, 6 and 5 in his last 2 games. That's what the guy's there for. He's going to make it happen. Love this play.
Yeah, you had me convinced when I saw him pick Steph Curry's pocket the other day.
Yeah,
and then go full court to score. So
yeah,
he's good. He's athletic. He's he earned his spot in the lineup, and I don't see why he doesn't get big minutes. And the Pelicans have like a lot of these like wiry, high energy guys too, like Jose Alvarado, Herb Jones. Right, they're all going to be out there creating some havoc. They're going to need a Keon Ellis out there to kind of counterbalance that. So I could see them both. I could see Keon Ellis at 2 steals and maybe even Herb Jones with 1 steal as well. Put those 2 together. I think
love that.
A nice little parlay as well.
Love that. We had a comment from Rob Boggs asking about Joval, and he read my mind because that was my next pick right here. Pull up Joval's PA. Let's look at his PA. We can also look at his assists, but let's look at his PA without Zion this season. Take a look at that chart.
Without Zion, right?
Right there.
There we go.
There we go.
Wowzers.
There we go. Over 13.5 points and assists. I love this. Sacramento's defense has actually been pretty good since the All-Star break. Which is very strange to say for Sacramento. It's a team that was that's been like the opposite last couple of years, but their defense has definitely gotten better. One spot though that you can target them is assists to bigs. Bigs have they've allowed the 3rd most assists to bigs since the trade deadline. So I think you could have like some sort of Joval ladder opportunity here. If look at his assists, Dave. You see without Zion, he's gotten to I think 7 assists a couple times, like big assist outputs. Right there. So potentially a little ladder there. What do you think? You're like a bit of a Joval whisperer. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I've had probably 5 separate conversations with different people. Read the Green, Campio de Greens earlier was messaging back and forth about Joval and a few other people today. My take on Joval is it's all game script, right? So Joval will play this game because they need to stop Sabonis. He will play this game if the game is close, right? If the Kings pull ahead, the first player that comes out is Joval, right? Because he's not that type of player that you have in the game when you need to come back, right? They need to get the Trey Murphys out there. They need the Herb Joneses out there. They need the Alvarados. They need Larry Nance, all guys who are faster, can move up the court quicker, can shoot threes. That's not Jovel's game, right? Yeah. Jovel's, down low in the post, slow, old school. So there's a 1.5 point game. I think I said, if it stays there, Jovel gets the minutes. Jovel probably crushes all of his props today. But if you feel like the Kings might blow them out, then I would stay away from Jovel props. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and you kind of saw that play out in the last game, right? The minutes kind of shifted over to Nance. Nance played like 27, 28 minutes. I think Jovel played 19, 20 minutes, something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, we were looking at that. Even, let's take the Zion filter out. Even, like, I think we were looking at first half versus second half. Let's just look at points, right? First half, he's averaging 7.1 points over the last 10 games. And second half, he's averaging 5 points, right? So he tends to get the first half minutes. If you have a book that allows you to play Jovel first half, or Prize Picks or something like that, I think any Jovel first half props are good because that'll kind of keep you away from that game script scenario that I was talking about as well.
Yeah.
Josh, anything to add? I remember you were on the pod about a year ago and we put a Jovel prop up and you went crazy over it. So it's a nice fitting way for us to end this one. Any thoughts on Jovel?
Yeah, I think you kind of said it best, man, because I've gotten burned a lot on Jovel this year with how they've kind of, rotated Larry Nance in, where you'll just get that underdog notification at halftime. Larry Nance starts the second half. Yeah, and then you're just like, Jovel has a dream matchup, but you just never know what kind of minutes he's going to get. I'm a huge fan of Jovel. I love Jovel, but like you said, it's just with how fast the Kings could play. I know Sabonis is on the court, but there's potential that he could get ran off the court tonight. So
yeah,
I love it, but I don't think I can get to the window with Jovel.
That's why I laid off of it, but I do think there's a lot of value in it as well. So again, if you can find a first half prop on him, go for that because I think that's probably your best value. Maybe even first quarter, but yeah, no, I think it's worth. This is a Willie Green bet here. Is basically what you're betting on here.
Yeah,
so, Ingram being at 20.5 points is very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I know he's been terrible on 2 days rest.
I just don't know what to expect from him. I mean, the fact that he was sitting on the bench the other night when Zion went out, it's like I don't know. I'm very cautious about BI right now.
No, I get that 100%.
I mean,
look, 24 minutes, 23 minutes.
Look at what he played. 24.9 minutes. That tells you that he's on a 25-minute restriction. Mm-hmm. Now that restriction may have been put in place. I didn't read a lot about this, but it may have been put in place knowing that they had this game 2 games later that was kind of do or die. So they might just say, listen,
you got to go.
You got to go or
Especially
you're in Cancun.
Out,
yeah. So I could see him getting 30 plus minutes. So you might get some good value, but Ingram, Embiid, there's a handful of guys that have been rushed back just for the playoffs, and you could see in their performances they're not ready to play.
Yeah.
So
are you suggesting that the Pelicans played the long game here and decided to lose that game so they didn't have to play Denver in round 1 and they got to play they were going to win tonight and they play OKC in round 1?
Yeah, that's why they're benching Jovel so that they can go up against.
I mean, that makes a lot.
No, I mean keeping BI.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I don't think any team does that. I know there's a lot of talk about LeBron wanting to play, OKC instead. Nobody's doing that. Nobody wants to roll the dice and miss the playoffs because they're trying to get
for your matchup. Yeah,
for your matchup. So, but it doesn't matter at this point. This is do or die, single elimination, NCAA March Madness style. Should be a good game. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. All right. This was a great pod. Josh, thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me.
I love the baseball and the basketball talk. Very cool. So a lot of nice picks. I think we got to get to the window, as you said, Josh, and get a few of these in because we're definitely feeling, especially some of those Heat plays. So
Kevin Love to the moon.
There we go, baby. All right. Nice work, guys. Enjoy the games tonight. Enjoy the weekend, the start of the NBA postseason, and let's all make some money.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.